Welcome to the Ayurvedic Way, where we explore ancient health and cooking secrets from India that have helped people live in balance for thousands of years. I'm Randall Mark.
I'm Amrita Sondhi, and today we'll be talking about how eating the right food can help you with sleep. And we'll be cooking a delicious traditional curry.
I love curries, and I get a chance to talk to Dr. Jonathan Fleming. He's one of the leading sleep experts in all of Canada. Stick around, it's going to be a great show. On this episode of the Ayurvedic Way, we're talking about the importance of healthy food and sleep. Amrita, why is health and our food that we eat actually connected to how we sleep?
Because it balances the doshas. It always comes back to the doshas.
Explain the doshas again.
Vata, wind. Out of balance, chickens with their heads cut off, running around town. In balance, spontaneous, creative, wonderful. Fire, pitta, leadership, visionary, keeps it all going.
That's more like me, yeah.
Exactly, like you. And out of balance, it should have been done yesterday. What was wrong with that? You know, you drove to...
And I have a tough time falling asleep, getting my mind to calm down.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a huge pizza thing. And kapha, out of balance, is the couch potato, can't get off the couch.
Okay, so we're making banana bread. How does that connect with health?
Well, because we've got the complex carbs here, and it's got a sweet taste that
so you'll do the eggs, I'll
pitta.
start mushing the banana.
Yeah,
okay.
Great. And yeah, so calming the doshas, especially pitta and vata, are very important for sleep disorders.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
balancing the doshas. There's the good oil that calms vata, anxiety, calms all the anxiety. There's sugar, the sweet taste that calms pitta, fire. And there's vanilla, that again, lovely sweet taste and flavor.
Is this good enough?
That looks fantastic. And Randall's mashing the bananas, which are
Put
so
that there.
delicious. So if you would just put those in here, bananas in here, that would be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for mashing those. That's
There we
wonderful.
Okay, and then what?
Ooh, it smells delicious already. And then we're putting in the flours. There's the wheat germ that adds another essential oil, the vitamin E.
Okay, we'll put the wheat germ in.
Yeah, great to have wheat germ.
And I can add this flour.
Add the flour, the excellent flour, and here's the whole flax seeds.
Ooh, I love flax seeds.
Yeah, delicious. And they also bind. There's a little bit of salt, baking powder. There we go.
Look at that. And then at the end, I just, once that's folded together, we add the walnuts.
Yeah, we fold in the walnuts and then we pour it into the baking dish and that's it. That's how easy it is to make.
That's fantastic.
A delicious, nutritious banana walnut bread.
Okay, I'm putting in the walnuts.
Thank you. Now we're going to pour this into the baking dish.
Okay, I'll put this over here.
Thank you. I'm going to actually,
I'm putting this here.
All right.
Okay. Want me to help? Here, you hold that and I'll do that.
Thanks, Randall.
So
everyone should cook with Randall.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm good at squeezing lemons and, you know, scraping dishes. That's what I'm good at. That's good enough.
Very good. Okay, thank you.
So how long do we let that? How long do we let that cook?
Until a toothpick comes out clean.
Okay. Coming up next, we make a traditional curry. It's going to be fantastic. Today we're talking about sleep and how great food can actually help us sleep better. Amrita, what are we making now?
We're making a traditional curry, and this can be done with 6 cups of vegetables, but today we're doing it with chicken. And just for those of you who know, you can use chicken in Ayurveda. It just shows you in the back of my book how the charts work for chicken. Chicken balances all the doshas. So yeah, the secret to this curry is caramelizing the onions.
Oh, I love the smell that's going on.
Isn't that great?
So you're going to add some spices, and what else? What do we got here?
Yeah, this is a ginger, and here's a bit of fresh green chili, and here's some fresh garlic.
Okay.
And I'm putting these in before we've completely browned the onions. Okay, I'm going to let these saute for about 3 minutes.
And I'm chopping up tomatoes, right?
Yeah, thank you.
You say tomatoes.
Tomatoes,
I
of
say
course.
tomatoes.
Exactly. He's a great chopper. You have to cook with a great chopper.
Okay.
This is amazing.
So I just,
Thank
is
you.
that small enough, or what do I do?
A little bit
right?
smaller. That's good. It's going okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then tell me what the spices we're going to be putting in.
We're going to be putting in, this is coriander powder. This is cumin powder. This is turmeric, the natural antibiotic. And both those others too balance all the doshas. And here's garam masala.
That
delicious.
is, let me smell that. That's like got cinnamon, cardamom. I love that stuff.
Isn't that fantastic? That brings all the flavor. Now it's nice to fry the spices a little bit. So before the onions have completely browned, make sure that you have fried the spices.
What you're trying to do is you're saying spices are live. They got to be popping.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm adding this.
Exactly.
We're going to let it cook.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
There we go. And I'm adding the tomato paste.
Exactly. Bit of tomato paste. Now this is a very important part. You take time to do this right.
Okay.
You cook this for another 5 minutes, and you'll sort of see the good oil just slightly coming to the surface.
Okay, so we're gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes.
Okay, look at how great this is. We've now married the spices. The tomatoes and onions have softened. The chicken is now ready to add. And how you can tell this, just when you're cooking at home, is the oil, the good oil has now risen to the surface.
Okay, so I'm gonna add the chicken.
Thank you, Randall.
And,
perfect. I'm gonna brown these just a little bit. Okay, we're gonna let it brown here.
And I've got these cardamom pods. You wanted me to pop them open. Why am I doing that?
Because the flavors release when you pop them open.
Okay, so I'm just like with a knife, you just kind of crush them?
Perfect. Thank you.
Like that, just like that.
Exactly. Now pop those in here. Thank you. We're popping in the cloves, the peppercorns.
And a little bit of salt.
Salt.
A whole cinnamon stick. Now that's fresh. I love it.
Isn't that delicious?
And this is what, it's cayenne?
Yes, exactly.
Wow,
Cayenne.
look at that spice.
Poppy spice. That's to taste.
I love curries. It's so exciting. Okay, so you're going to get all browned up on the chicken?
We'll brown the chicken. We'll saute this till it's a little bit brown for about 3 minutes.
Okay.
And then we will add water to it. We'll cover it and just let it cook for about 30 to 40 minutes until the chicken's done.
So basically, you're browning the chicken. I can add the water and let it cook.
That's right.
Okay.
We add the water.
Okay,
And
sweet.
at the end, just 10 minutes before our chicken's cooked, we're adding the potatoes and a squeeze of lime at the very end to bring out all the flavor.
Can you use
lemon?
lime?
You could use lime. Yeah.
Okay, so once it's cooked, the chicken, you said 10 minutes before, we add the potatoes.
Yep.
Once it's before it's served, you squeeze the lemon.
Exactly.
And that lemon really brings out the flavors.
Yes, exactly.
The smell in here is unbelievable. I can't wait to dig into that. Coming up next, we make a daikon salad. First of all, what is a daikon?
A daikon looks like a giant white carrot.
It's a root?
It's a root.
Okay. And so why is this daikon salad really helpful for our bodies?
Well, daikon's actually a blood cleanser. The bitter taste comes from the endive salad. And that's endives, delicious, bitter, and the watercress.
Okay, so we're going to I'll try this, and you're going to display this?
I'm going to display it. Beauty, as we know, gets the taste buds moving. So it's really fun to paint with your food. Paint with the salad. Enjoy making your lovely painting.
And you're leaving them quite full like that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We let people do a bit of work. We could tear these watercress just a little bit for them.
I'm going to put some over on this side because I'm painting with food.
You're painting away, are you?
Well, sure. I've never thought about food as painting, but yes. I like that.
Painting away. Gorgeous and fun to do. Yeah, so the raw is essential. In every Ayurvedic meal, you have to have some raw because it aids the digestion. Okay, this also calms and balances all the doshas, which is essential to sleeping well. When our doshas are balanced, we don't have trouble sleeping, our bodies are working.
And these are cucumbers.
Beautiful. And cucumbers cool pitta, as you know.
And cools a cucumber, you keep telling me.
Gorgeous.
This is helpful for me. I'm learning that cucumbers are my friend. They help me stay in balance.
Exactly, because Randall's pitta. He's a leader. He's a visionary.
Okay.
Here we go like this. Here's a bit of fresh dill, adds amazing flavor.
I'm going to do a little bit of salt on top.
The doshas, a bit of salt.
And I'm going to squeeze this.
Fresh lemon. So it's such a fresh salad. The bit of the sour taste gets the digestion going. Again, it calms vata.
That looks fantastic. That's very, very fresh. Coming up next, I talked to Dr. Jonathan Fleming. He's a sleep expert, and he's got some fascinating insights. Welcome back to the Ayurvedic Way. One of the most important things for our bodies, for health, and even to lose weight is sleep. I talked to Dr. Jonathan Fleming at the University of British Columbia's Sleep Clinic.
Studies have suggested that too little sleep may increase your risk of heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and even depression. In order to understand the importance of a good night's rest, I visited Dr. Jonathan Fleming, co-director of the Sleep Clinic at the UBC Hospital.
Dr. Fleming, we are in a sleep clinic. I've never been in one of these before, but I assume this is where people will get hooked up and you would help monitor what's going on with their inability to sleep. Before we get into that, I want to ask questions about the issue of how pervasive is the issue of sleep disorders.
Well, it depends what you describe as a sleep disorder. Everybody has, from time to time, difficulties with getting to sleep, which is usually stress or timing related. They may have overslept one night and then not be able to sleep so well the next night. But actual sleep disorders are characterized by being chronic conditions. So the most common of those are chronic sleeplessness related to psychiatric disorders.
So what about some of the more extreme disorders? Obviously you know about insomnia, but sleepwalking, night terrors, these kinds of things. How common are those and how do they manifest themselves?
Well, they're not actually that extreme. Hollywood makes them appear much more dramatic than they are. The parasomnias, which are those conditions you've just described, like sleepwalking and doing things during the nighttime, are relatively rare in adults. They are quite common in young kids because they are what are called arousal disorders. So they're disorders that happen from deep stages of sleep. So it's coming up into partial wakefulness, but not being fully awake.
So you're walking around doing things, but the person's still sleeping.
Correct.
And that happens.
It does happen. Yes.
Wow. Now, what about everything from, forms of insomnia? What about people that fall asleep while they're driving or while they're just standing there? Does it happen?
It does happen, but that's not a form of insomnia. The thing that you have to remember is that sleep disturbances are biphasic. They disrupt two phases of our life, the nighttime sleep period and the daytime. So falling asleep during the daytime is an indication that your nighttime sleep is not doing what it's supposed to do, which is to keep you alert. So either you have not had enough of it, or when you've been asleep, things have been going on that have kept you having fractured sleep, which will then make you sleepy during the daytime. And one of the most common reasons for that is what's called obstructive sleep apnea, where people, after they put on a lot of weight commonly, will have apneic pauses. They will obstruct during the nighttime. It's a history of snoring plus breathing pauses. And so there can be 30, 40 of those per hour of sleep, and that, even though you think you're sleeping 7 hours, you have a fractured sleep.
And that, it almost feels like you've only had maybe 3 or maybe 2 or 3 hours of real sleep.
In people who have sleep apnea, they commonly think that they've slept quite well, but they then have daytime sleepiness. So it's actually relatively uncommon for people with sleep apnea to complain about their nighttime sleep until they start to get into treatment and other things.
And some of the treatments are using masks and opening up breathing ways so people can actually experience proper breathing.
Well, apnea is by definition a breathing pause that's caused by obstruction during your sleep. And so the easiest treatment to do and the most benign treatment is to use what's called a pneumatic splint, which is through a mask over the nose. You put in an air pressure of about, varying between 6 and 12 centimeters of water, and that will keep the airway open, and so people will sleep better.
What's the connection between a good night's sleep and our ability to even lose weight? Is there a connection?
Well, there's an interesting connection between disrupted sleep and weight gain.
Oh, okay.
So, and that may be for a variety of different reasons. There may be changes in our hormonal makeup. For example, shift workers are known to put on weight, but that may also be because they tend to use stimulating foods like drinking things like Coca-Cola, which have a high sugar load, but they're looking for the caffeine to keep them awake, or eating stuff that they think is keeping them awake but has a high calorie count. So it's multifactorial as to quite why it goes on, but weight will certainly go on if you have disrupted sleep over a chronic period.
You mentioned food. How important it is a good diet to getting a good night's sleep?
There's actually very little research diet by diet. So there's not much research that's been done about a specific diet, but we know that given how the brain works in the sleep state, that there are certain things that would be likely to promote sleep. And probably the most commonly known story is the L-tryptophan story, which is that L-tryptophan is a precursor of serotonin, which in the brain is one of the things that will help people sleep. So high L-tryptophan foods are supposed to be sleep promoting, and everybody trops out turkey as being one of them, so that after Thanksgiving and Christmas that everybody feels sleepy. But that's probably for a variety of different reasons, including the fact that you might have had some alcohol.
Right.
So, so tryptophan is one of the things that people have looked at.
Thanks so much for talking about sleep. It's an absolute fascinating area of study, and thanks for all the stuff you're doing here in the Lower Mainland.
It's a pleasure.
All the best.
If you're like me, your sleep habits can be interrupted by pain in your back and your shoulders, all over your body. And it's really, really important to have a strong core in order to keep that in check.
Welcome back to the Ayurvedic Way. If you're one of those people that has trouble sleeping at night, remember that exercise and yoga are excellent ways to balance the doshas, calm the mind, reduce anxiety, and give you an excellent night's sleep. As with all exercise, remember to consult with your physician first.
If you're like me, your sleep habits can be interrupted by pain in your back and your shoulders, all over your body. And it's really, really important to have a strong core in order to keep that in check. Now, when you hear the word core, it makes you think of TV. It's everywhere. All the advertisements, core, core, core. What is core? It's your abdominals, it's your side muscles, and your low back. It's just that simple network around the middle that controls your spine. Keeping that strong and being aware of it is the first step towards sleeping pain-free. What does it mean to control your core? Well, pull the abdominals in, keep them nice and tight, belly button towards the spine, keep that low back nice and flat. That's where it begins. Holding that position throughout all the exercises you do will help strengthen that core, keep it tight, and that will translate into your sleeping habits, your posture in life, everything. You'll sleep better, you'll feel better, and you'll have a nice flat core. Till next time, start light and do it right.
When done correctly, the gentle shoulder stand takes stress out of the shoulders and the skull. It is great for promoting sleep as it turns off an overactive mind and balances all the doshas. This pose also tones the abdominal organs, soothes headaches, and stimulates the thyroid, which helps to balance metabolism.
In the same way that exercise is so great to help you sleep, this spiced chai tea is also a great way to get to sleep. What's all in our little spices that we had cooking before?
We have fresh ginger, we have cinnamon, we have nutmeg, we have black pepper, cloves.
I've always wanted to make this. So this is, rather than just buying it, you can make it at home. I'm going to spin this thing up.
Yeah.
This is just a little coffee grinder.
He loves his machines. He loves
I love
them.
it. Okay, that's ready to go. I hear
Isn't
little
that
chunks.
nice? Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's ready.
Cardamom.
We roasted these spices ahead of time, and I've just finished grinding them now. And when I'm grinding them, all these spices just, they just pop and come alive. I can't wait.
That smells so wonderful.
Okay, so I'm going to put this water,
There's
milk.
milk.
Okay.
And when milk is used in Ayurveda, the people who are often lactose intolerant can digest it. So in India, you always eat warm milk.
What you mean? Kids, they get put to bed with warm milk.
Yeah.
Why? What's that about? Why does it help them sleep?
Good question. The milk calms vata, so it reduces anxiety, and it calms pitta, the fire, so the mind stops.
So this is the rooibos.
Fresh rooibos tea, delicious, and this is a non-caffeinated, full of antioxidants, full-bodied flavor.
And we're just taking about half a teaspoon?
Just a half a teaspoon.
Of this spice. Now
That's
look at that.
fantastic. You can use the rest later, take it to work tomorrow, use a quarter teaspoon in a cup.
And then just add a little bit more water.
And we'll let this simmer for about 5 minutes. All the spices will marry in here. Delicious.
I mean, this is, I love this because this is actually fresh spices that have been pre-roasted. It's beautiful. This is really smelling great. Can't wait to try all the food we made today. On this episode of the Ayurvedic Way, we've been talking about sleep and how the foods we eat when they balance our body can actually help us sleep better. Amrita, what did we make today?
We've cooked a traditional curry. Now this one we did with chicken, which calms all the doshas, but you could do it with 6 cups of vegetables. This is a banana walnut loaf that has the essential omega-3 6-3s, calms the brain, calms the mind, and gets us ready for sleep. Here we have the essential raw ingredients that have to be at every Ayurvedic meal. We've got the bitter taste from the watercress, the bitter of the endive, the sweet and the carrot, the sour, the salty. Excellent blood cleanser.
And then we added a whole grain tortilla. And don't forget about our spiced chai tea, which we took the spices and we actually roasted them, and all the flavors and smells just came popping. That was really exciting. I can't wait to try this great food, Amrita. This is really going to be good. On the next episode of the Ayurvedic Way, we're going to talk about the whole issue of anxiety, which is all throughout our culture right now, and how the food we eat can actually help us deal with anxiety. It's going to be a great show. So let's dig in. Cheers.